Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Break the Tackle. I am the Pef, Austin Peffer, and I am here for the wild card round playoff predictions. We've gotten through the regular season. It's done and over with, and I finished with a record of 174 wins and 98 losses. A pretty good year to pick the games this season. That's about the equivalent of 11-6 record, so I will gladly happily take that. Now we're into playoffs. We're going to pick the wild card weekend games as well as the games that would come out due to my predictions. Let's start with the first game of the weekend. Representing the AFC, we have the 5-seeded Chargers at the 4-seeded Texans. Chargers, they're on a bit of a roll now since they got J.K. Dobbins back. They are looking pretty damn strong. Meanwhile, the Texans, they've had a bit of a disappointing season. They won a division, but it really was not that impressive of a division. It was a pretty easy division to win, and despite that, the Texans have just been a bit lackluster this year. O-line's taken a big step back. The Chargers are going strong. Jim Harbaugh, he just wins in the playoffs, man. And right now, unless if the Chargers Charger here, I like the Chargers to win this game. Plain and simple. Next, we're going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens, the 6th seed versus the 3 seed in the AFC. And man, I don't think there's any team that is colder than the Steelers right now in these playoffs. Like, what if this team was 10-3? It looked like a top 5 team. That's how much things can change in a month. Meanwhile, the Ravens are red hot. I have a real hard time seeing the Ravens losing this game. I know playoff Ravens have not been the most exciting topic. They've been a pretty disappointing bunch, but if there's anyone that's more disappointing in the playoffs in the last decade, it'd be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I just trust the Ravens far more than I trust the Steelers, and that's saying something. So give me the Ravens here. It's not that the Steelers are necessarily a bad team. They are just so unorganized and so sloppy. Like, there's a lack of communication there. I think the coaching has been piss poor. This is going to turn into the Steelers rant. I need to stop. Give me the Ravens to win this one. Next, to start the Sunday games, we have the 7-seeded Broncos at the 2-seeded Bills, the final of the 3 AFC wildcard games. And, I mean, I think Denver can make this a close game, but I just cannot see them winning this game. I really like the Bills here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time Von Miller is going to be playing against his old team in the Broncos. And it's a playoff game, so add fuel to the fire there. Yeah, I like Buffalo. Give me Buffalo to win this one by like a touchdown. Next, the first of 3 NFC games. Funny enough, 2 of the 3 NFC games are Week 1 rematches. And had the Vikings pulled the upset, it would have all 3 been Week 1 rematches. Very interesting here. We're going to start with the 7-seeded Packers at the 2-seeded Eagles. Packers are just having some unfortunate injuries. They're a pretty young team. I think they still need another year before they really get into that Super Bowl contention. With that said, I think they have a real shot of upsetting the Eagles here, but I have a hard time picking it. Eagles are home, and the defense is far superior to the Week 1 defense they had. I think I like the Eagles too much in this matchup. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win over the Green Bay Packers. Next, we have the Washington Commanders at the 3-seeded Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Washington's the 6th seed. Another exciting Week 1 rematch, and I think this one's a lot more exciting than what it was back in Week 1. Arguably, this might be my most anticipated wild card game, which is saying a lot, but I think this is going to be a fireworks show here. Expecting a higher scoring game. I've really been impressed with Washington, really impressed with Jaden Daniels, but I'm a little hesitant with the rookie quarterback on the road, first playoff game, and I mean, Tampa's been pretty successful in the playoffs these last few years. Baker Mayfield is 2-0 in wildcard games, so I think I like the Buccaneers here. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get the win over the Washington Commanders. And the last game of the wildcard weekend, we have the 5-seeded Vikings at the 4-seeded Rams. Monday Night Football. This is a rematch. The Rams are one of 2 teams that beat the Vikings. And I'm back and forth on this one. It could go either way, but I've been picking all favorites. I think I'm going to pick an underdog here. The Vikings are favored by 1.5, so I'm going to go with the Rams in an upset to get the win over the Vikings. I don't love this pick. I really don't, but I feel like I need to pick at least one upset. I think I'm picking all favorites here. Technically not a seeding upset, but it's an upset based on odds. I should probably make that clear. Give me the Rams to get the upset on the Vikings. It's a coin flipper. It could go either way, but I'm leaning... Actually, I don't know where I'm leaning. Because I kind of like the Vikings team more, but they also have a history of not showing up for the playoffs. And I think McVay gets the job done here. The Rams are a little more well-rested. Might be a little more healthy than what they've been most of the season. I'm going to take a chance on the Rams. Give me the Rams. All right, so based on my picks for the wildcard weekend, this is how the playoffs would lay out. It'd be the 5-seeded Chargers at the 1-seeded Chiefs, the 3-seeded Ravens at the 2-seeded Bills, the 4-seeded Rams at the 1-seeded Lions, and the 3-seeded Buccaneers at the 2-seeded Eagles. Chargers at Chiefs, I'm leaning towards the Chiefs here. I would love to see a Chargers upset. I think it's possible for a Chargers upset, but I just trust Kansas City in those close games. Give me the Chiefs. 3-seeded Ravens at the 2-seeded Bills. I mean, that's a coin. That game's a coin flip. Like it could really go either way. And the Bills were my Super Bowl pick beginning of the season. I'm going to stick with them here. Give me the Bills to get the win over the Ravens. Honestly, it's just, that game could really go either way. It's kind of pick your poison. I have the 4-seeded Rams at the 1-seeded Lions. I mean, I didn't feel that confident in the Rams making it this far, so I got to roll with the Lions here. Give me Detroit. 3-seeded Buccaneers at the 2-seeded Eagles. Ooh, Tampa has had the Eagles number, man. They really have, but the Eagles are so talented. It's a matter of, is Sirianni going to cost them here? You know what? I'm going to roll with the Eagles. I say they finally get over that hump. They beat the Buccaneers. Close game, but I'm going to say the Eagles overcome it. Which means it's the 1 and 2 seed for both AFC and NFC championships for me. The 2-seeded Bills at the 1-seeded Chiefs, and the 2-seeded Eagles at the 1-seeded Lions. Bills at Chiefs, I mean, you know what? I don't want to be boring. I don't want to be predictable because it feels like it's going to be the Chiefs, but in my mind, I anticipate the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. I do. But I'm going to pick with my heart here. I had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. I'm going to have them going to the Super Bowl again. Give me the Buffalo Bills over the Chiefs in an upset. They pull it off. They're going to the Super Bowl. Eagles at Lions. Again, this is a pick your poison here. These are probably the two favorites of the NFC. You know what? I'm going with the Eagles. I really believe that the Eagles are just far too talented and they might overcome their coaching mistakes. I think at some point the Lions' injuries are going to come back to bite them, and I think this would be the point. So give me the Eagles to return to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. We got Bills and Eagles in the Super Bowl. My original Super Bowl prediction was Bills-Packers, so it's a Bills versus a team that wears green. Close enough. And I got to do it. I'm going to roll with the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say 31-29 final score. The Bills win their first ever Super Bowl. So let's recap my picks for the wildcard weekend.
Chargers over Texans, Ravens over Steelers, Bills over Broncos, Eagles over Packers, Buccaneers over Commanders, Rams over Vikings.
Those are my picks for the weekend, but now let's hear from you. Who do you have winning this weekend, moving on in the playoffs, and reaching the Super Bowl? Share in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button for more content by Break the Tackle, and be sure to check out the Facebook and Instagram pages, and check out some of our other videos on the channel. Thanks again for watching Break the Tackle. We love football. We talk football.